Mom, please. I'm in a financial bind again this month. Can you help me out? Didn't we agree last month that I wouldn't lend you any more money? What on earth are you spending it on? On Alice's tuition and stuff. You know, women cost money, right? But Alice goes to a public school. That shouldn't be straining your budget, right? You have a part-time job, right? I understand that being a single mom is tough, but you're receiving child support, aren't you? If you're really struggling, why don't you move back home? No way! I don't want to move away from downtown. Well, you might not have a choice. I know, but I want to keep trying here for a bit longer. I might be able to become a full-time employee at my current part-time job. Even so. Hey, please. I promise this will be the last time I ask for your help. The truth is, I'm in debt. Debt? I keep getting calls to repay it, and if things keep going like this, I might get depressed. I won't be able to feed Alice enough. Wait a minute. What do you mean by debt? Why did this happen? Didn't your father's inheritance get passed on to you? Tell me what you're spending your money on. Breakdown? What's that? Dad's inheritance was spent a long time ago when I moved from home and on living expenses. A few $100,000 can disappear quickly. You said you would save it for Alice's future. All right, I'll come over and help you reevaluate your expenses. So, why did you need to get into debt? I've been sending you about $500 every month. It's not because you didn't have enough for living expenses, right? Well, Spit it out. Dates and stuff and gambling? Dates and gambling? You said you'd quit when Alice was born, didn't you? Since Alice was born, I've been winning more. So I thought I'd spoil Alice a bit. The money you're spending on gambling should obviously be spent on Alice instead. And what do you mean by dates? Do you have a new boyfriend? Well, is he a boyfriend? Why are you saying it like a question? We're not dating yet, but we plan to. He said if I can make him my top priority, he'll make me his girlfriend. He's a bartender, so it's not easy to date him. Aileen, you've really lost it. You're the one putting a strain on the household. If you're going to live like this, I'll take Alice. No way! He said he likes kids, and I want to introduce him to her. If he takes a liking to Alice, maybe we could start dating. What? What do you think Alice is? I've been putting up with your selfishness all along. When you said you were going to have Alice, even though you didn't know who the father was, I approved because you promised to raise her properly. You're always putting Alice second, chasing after men. How many times are you going to drag her through this? Can't help it. I'm falling in love. There's no point in saying more, is there? I'm not helping you anymore. Just bring Alice to me. What? What's that? So you're saying you don't love your own daughter? It's come to this because your behavior is outrageous as a mother. I think we spoiled you too much. But let me tell you, I'm not going to clean up your mess now that you're an adult. You better pay back the debt yourself. Just bring Alice to me. If you won't help me, I'm not bringing her. What are you saying? If I gave you money now, it'll just disappear into gambling and drinks for your boyfriend, right? You need to face up to what you've done. Shut up! You're always nagging. It's really annoying. Fine. Take it as me abandoning Alice. Wait, Aileen. Hold on. Grandma. Huh? Grandma. Alice? Could it have been you who called just now? Yeah. I was surprised because I didn't recognize the number. What's up? Did your mom buy you a smartphone? No, she let me use it. Grandma, can you talk now? I'm sorry, honey. I'm still at work. I see. What happened? Grandma, Mom has gone somewhere. She hasn't come home. Where are you now? I'm coming to pick you up. Tell me where you are. I'm at Uncle Mafia's house. Huh? Mafia? Sorry, Alice. Grandma doesn't understand. Mom disappeared and Uncle Mafia came. Then Uncle Mafia said place. He gave me food. Huh? Uncle Mafia wants to know where Mom went. Does Grandma know? I'm sorry, I don't know. Could you let the man who lent you the phone speak? Okay. This is Brown. I run a loan company that lent money to your daughter. I'm Addie, Eileen's mother. I'm aware. Eileen had written you down as her emergency contact. I see. The thing about Eileen is, she's behind on her loan payments. I went over to her house because she wasn't answering her phone. Then I found Eileen's personal belongings were gone and only little Alice was in the house. Alice told me that yesterday. Eileen packed her things and left. You're kidding. Are you saying she ran away and left Alice behind? It seems that way. And about the payment, you're listed as a guarantor, so I need you to pay off Eileen's debt of $20,000. Hold on a second. I don't remember agreeing to be a guarantor. Regardless of your recollection, the paperwork indicates you as the guarantor. Your seal is on it. That should be invalid. You're not a regular person, are you? And taking my granddaughter without permission. I'm calling the police. That's harsh. I just took Alice in to protect her. You might think we're some sort of shady loan shark operation, but we make sure not to put ourselves in a position where getting sued would be a problem. Even if you took this to court, it's unclear whether the loan agreement would be invalidated. Oh dear. Well, it's true we want the loan repaid, but we're not expecting you to do it. It's just that this is our business too, so we want Eileen to pay. When you borrow money, you pay it. That's only fair. Yes, I suppose. So, we would like you to bring Eileen to us. We were thinking of helping her find work here to repay the loan. Get her to come in? You want me to sell out my daughter for my granddaughter? Do you still have feelings for Eileen, who left her daughter and fled? What Eileen did to Alice is unforgivable, and I've been looking into taking her in myself, considering her recent circumstances. But rotten or not, she is still my daughter. I can imagine what would happen if I handed my daughter over to you. I understand that the one in the wrong is my daughter, but it's not really my place to say, but Eileen didn't seem like she was taking care of Alice. When I went into the house earlier, it was a mess. She probably hadn't been doing housework for a long time, and yet she borrows money for nightclubs and gambling, and in the end she abandons her child and runs away. I have no sympathy for such a person. I understand. I do understand. But I can't help but think that Eileen turned out this way because of my poor parenting. Oh, Mother. There are people who say that no one is born a lowlife, but even if they're brought up the same way, a lowlife will grow up to be a lowlife. And only a lowlife can judge a lowlife. In my line of work, I've seen all sorts of families. Even families that seem normal to us, where they grew up with both parents. There were plenty of people who betrayed others. I understand. I think you're right, Mr. Brown. I'll call my daughter. So please give Alice back to me. Of course. Please let me know when you reach her. As for Alice, she's getting along well with our kids, so you can rest assured. We have no intention of doing anything to a child the same age as our own. Thank you. And for taking care of my granddaughter. It's nothing. I'm a parent after all, albeit a lousy one. I'll be waiting for good news then. Aileen, I got a call from the debt collectors. They said you left to leave her with us. I would have come to pick her up if you had called. I guess I ended up reaching out to you, Mom. I'm sorry. I don't care about your apologies right now. We're talking about Alice here. Well, I couldn't repay the debt. Then they started talking about repossessing my stuff. I would obviously run in such a situation, right? I'm already doing my best. There's no way I could take Alice with me. Then why didn't you leave Alice with me? I'm telling you, I was desperate. Leaving Alice with you would have taken time. She's slow to get ready and I didn't have time to wait. I didn't want them taking my designer stuff. Packing is such a pain. And you said you wanted to live with Alice and I didn't want that to actually happen. What is that? Alice is just a kid. She can't live on her own, And you left her at home and if it wasn't for Mr. Brown finding her, the worst case scenario could have been a matter of life or death. I was planning to go back for her once things cooled down. You're making too much of this life or death thing. I see. I understand your way of thinking now. So, what are you going to do? The debt collector said your guarantor, Mom, should pay, right? Yes, that's right. That's why I'm going to pay your debt. Really? Thank you. So I can go home, right? Oh, thank goodness. But there's a condition. You have to come with me to repay the debt. What? Why? If you're going to repay it, just go by yourself. That guy is scary and I don't want to see him. You're not a child. You should see your mess through to the end. Otherwise, I won't pay. Then, you and I might be chased forever. But if we go to repay together, it ends there. Which will you choose? All right, I get it. Meet me at the station front at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll go together from there. Yeah. I wonder if I can wake up. You better be there. What on earth? Why did you leave me and go back home? Did you deceive me? A mother selling out her daughter? That's unthinkable. You're the worst. Who's the worst? You, Mom. You didn't even bring the money to repay the debt, and you just left midway. It makes no sense. What do you think is going to happen to me now? Is this what a biological parent does? Have you no heart, no conscience? Aren't you talking about yourself? You never take care of Alice on a regular basis, always gallivanting. When you let me see her, you quickly dress her up in newly bought clothes, trying to look like you're actually parenting. Plus, I will never forgive you for leaving Alice and running away. Huh? A mother needs a braving Alice was an accident. What are you saying? This is all a result of your actions. It's your responsibility. I have a lot of things I want to do too, you know? There are places I want to go where I can't take Alice. I want to have fun and I want to spend a lot of money. Is that a bad thing? It's not a bad thing. If you wanted to go out, you could have left Alice with me or something. And as for money, you should have fun without spending more than you earn. It's not for enjoying with borrowed money. Other people are still having fun. Why do I have to be the only one to hold back? This is all the path you choose. You decided to have Alice, and even though I was against it, I thought it was impressive. At first, you were really dedicated to raising her. But once you got a man, you left a child behind and started going out. And then you just left the family home and started saying you're going to raise her by yourself. When Dad died and left you some inheritance, you thought you could make it on your own, and you were always nagging me. Don't do this, don't do that, get a proper job. I wanted you to face up to the responsibility of properly raising a child. I can't keep taking care of you guys forever, you know. But you ran away from me, and the only contact was when you needed money. I've done all I can for you. Since I heard about the debt, I've been taking steps to take custody of Alice. I've given up on you. Huh? Are you serious? You're not going to help me? Yeah. I'm really sorry. I promised to properly take care of Alice this time, so please help me. I wanted to save you before I got to this point, but it's too late now. Do you know where Alice is right now? Huh? Isn't she with you, Mom? No, she's not. You never worried about Alice until now, did you? If there had been any words of concern for Alice in our conversation yesterday, I might have been willing to prepare for the repayment. Some might call me soft, but you're always just thinking about yourself. You need to repay your debt on your own and reflect on your actions. No, I don't want to. Help me, Mom. Just as Eileen has no one else to rely on but you, Alice had no one but you. You think I'm going to help you, who can't even help your own child? Alice and I are different, aren't we? Alice can survive if she has food and a place to live, right? I'm mentally suffering. I might have to go through something terrible from now on. You know my current situation, don't you, Mom? I know, that's why. Alice must have been mentally suffering as well. You can survive if you have food and a place to live too. I can't survive. And he was saying he'd be my boyfriend soon. Happiness is just around the corner. Hey, I'm truly remorseful. I'll listen to you, Mom. I'll even go back home. What you need right now is someone else to straighten out your crook character, not me. Good for you, Mr. Brown is willing to help correct your twisted personality, Jer. No! I don't want to work for a person like him. If you're truly remorseful, pay off your debt and come back home. Remember how you felt when you gave birth to Alice, when you decided to have her. If you can't do that, I'll really cut ties with you. Alice was brought to my house by Mr. Brown. At first, she seemed scared of Mr. Brown, but she seemed to get along with Mr. Brown's daughter, who was the same age as Alice. It was like her first sleepover, and it seemed like she was having quite a good time. However, the shock of being left by her mother remained, and she seldom talked about Eileen. Eileen, meanwhile, is slowly repaying her debt while working at the job Mr. Brown helped her find. Eileen seemed to wish for a life with Alice, but there was no escaping, and Mr. Brown, who values children, never allowed it. Several months have passed since I can't forgive what Eileen did to Alice, but I still sometimes question whether what I did was right. No matter how terrible a person, Eileen is still my child, and I have seen the times when she cherished Alice, so I can't help but wish she would return to the Eileen of that time. If Eileen repays her debt and truly reflects on her action, I'm considering trying to live together again, taking into account Alice's opinion. But it's tough, I can't decide yet, and I can't forgive her. Above all, I want to respect Alice's opinion and create an environment where she won't be hurt again. If Eileen tries to forcefully take Alice, I will protect her no matter what. Now I want to devote the rest of my life to Alice's happiness. That's the way I can take responsibility right now.
Olivia, can I talk to you now? Could you lend me $300 again this month? Mom, I told you last month after I lent you money that I wasn't going to do it anymore. How much money do you plan on taking from me? I can't do this anymore. Take from you? Don't say it like that. I'm just borrowing it. Well, you've never once paid me back, have you? If you don't give it back, it's not borrowing. Taking is the only word for it. Olivia, please. If you don't lend me the money, they're going to shut off the gas. It's the middle of winter, and if they shut off my gas, I can't run the furnace. I'll die in this cold. Is that what you want? Do you want to be responsible for me freezing to death? Why are you talking like I'm the bad guy here? This is your fault. You're the one always wasting money going out instead of paying your bills. And do you not understand the situation I'm in right now at my own house? You know my husband is battling cancer right now, don't you? Yet you're still always bugging me for money. I don't want to ask you for money. I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to. But I'm in debt. Debt? Since when? This is the first I've heard about this. That's because I figured you'd get angry if I told you. That's why I didn't tell you before. Hold on a minute here. Are you saying you've spent all of Dad's inheritance in only a few years? And on top of that, you've racked up a debt? I can't believe this. If that's the case, then there's no help for you. Don't say that. You're the only person I can count on. I know it's probably hard for you dealing with Connor's illness right now, but don't you think you should care a little more about your own mother's situation? I do care. That's why I've been giving you money each month for how long now? Honestly, this is it. I can't afford to do it anymore after this. With all the hospital bills we have, there's no money left to pay off your debts too. And if we do have any money left over that we can afford to lend you, I'd rather spend it on making my husband happy than giving it to you. No, you just waste it anyway. Okay, I understand that. I won't ask you to pay off my debts. So just give me $300, okay? Please. This will be the last time, I swear. You say that exact same thing every time. How many last times are there? So you're telling me to freeze to death this winter? Please, just this month. I'm gonna get a part-time job or something really soon, I swear. Oh, fine. But this is the last time, I'm not kidding. If you go back on your promise, I swear I'll never speak to you again. After this, I'm not giving you a cent. You're going to have to support yourself. Oh, Olivia, thank you. I knew I could count on you. I understand. This is the last time, I promise. I'll find a job and work hard from now on. Sorry for not replying to you sooner. So how's Connor doing? I got a call saying he was taken to the hospital by ambulance. What happened? Is everything okay? Mom, Connor, he just passed away. He was here sleeping when it happened. He went peacefully. Oh, I see. Well, that's good. What? That's good. What are you saying? What's good about that? Well, now that Connor has died, I'll tell you. To tell you the truth, I sold his wedding ring. His wedding ring? What do you mean you sold his wedding ring? How is that even possible? How would you even have it? Well, you know, the other day I went to your house to borrow some money from you. I was kind of looking around your house for something valuable I could sell. That's when I saw his expensive gold wedding band just sitting there. I also saw a gold watch with real diamonds around the face. I kind of took them from you and sold them at a pawn shop for money. It didn't look like you were using them. They were put away in your jewelry box. And I've never seen you wear that watch once. I didn't know you even had it. But thanks to you, I was able to get a little bit of my debt paid off, so my monthly payments are a bit less now. Are you serious? What's wrong with you? Go back to that pawn shop and get them back. Connor didn't buy that wedding ring for himself. I bought that wedding ring for Connor with my own money. I worked so hard to save up enough to get that for him. And that watch? That's a keepsake from Connor. He bought that for me. It was a special present. Oh, what's the problem? A dead person doesn't need a wedding ring, and I've never seen you wear that watch. Plus, you're single now. You don't want things from Connor left around the house. It'll just make any new boyfriend of yours uncomfortable. Connor would want you to be happy, so he wouldn't want you to have any of his stuff left around. He's not going to be happy because of what you did. If I was Connor, I'd think that you had somehow cursed me and were hoping I'd die. I won't forgive you for this. You're a horrible person. You're not my mother anymore. I'm not even sure you're human. Okay, I'm sorry. I never thought you'd get this angry about it. Oh, I really did like Connor. Really? What are you laughing about? I should have known. Even when Dad died, I saw you crying a couple times, but even so, you didn't seem sad at all. Well, I was more concerned about how I'd keep living and paying the bills with him gone. How dare he go first and leave me to take care of everything without him? Ugh, that's probably why you saw me crying. Huh? Are you saying when Dad died, the few tears you did shed were just you worrying about how you'd keep paying bills without him? Well, I'm not crying for a dead person. When you die, it's over. Crying over the dead isn't going to bring anyone back. I can't understand your thought process at all. Well, everyone thinks a little differently, don't they? Anyway, if it'll make you feel better, the amount of money I put towards my debt, I'll put the same amount towards the cost of the funeral. I guess I could get a job and work that much. Don't. I don't even want you at the funeral. Because I honestly don't know what I'll do to you the next time I see you. And you better get me Connor's wedding ring back, too. What were you doing? I told you not to come to the funeral, didn't I? I should ask you the same thing. My daughter's husband died. The least I could do would go pay my last respects. That's all I wanted to do, and you had me thrown out of the funeral home for it. I thought you said when someone dies, it's over, didn't you? You don't grieve for anyone. I know the only reason you came to the funeral was to steal the donations to cancer research. I told you not to come, and you still showed up in the middle of the service. But you didn't come into the room where the service was being held. One of the funeral directors saw you trying to get into the box that had all the guest donations to cancer research in it. If that person hadn't noticed you, you would have stolen all the cash in those envelopes for yourself. Don't say it like that. Oh, it wasn't as bad as you make it sound. Besides, I didn't have a choice. I still have all that debt I have to pay off. Oh, why would the people donate all that cash to cancer research? It's not going to save Connor now. The least you could do would be to give me some of it. Those donations weren't to go to pay off your debt. They're for cancer research, so hopefully someone else doesn't have to go through what Connor did. But Connor was a very kind person. If he were here, he'd happily give some of that money to me. I can't believe my own daughter won't even help me out with this. After I gave birth to you and raised you? Oh, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm the one disappointed in you. I can't believe I'm your daughter. I'm ashamed to tell anyone we're related. You only care about yourself, and just knowing I have your blood in my veins makes me sick. How dare you say something like that about your own mother? Have you forgotten all the things I did for you? I raised you, but obviously I didn't raise you right if this is how you treat me. You never did anything to raise me. Dad did everything for me, and everything around the house, too. Dad was the only one who was ever there for me. The only time you ever came near me or Dad was when you wanted something. If someone asked me who raised me, you'd be the last person that came to mind. What's gotten into you recently? Ever since I sold Connor's wedding ring, you've been treating me like dirt. If you and him cared so much about that ring, why wasn't he wearing it? It was put away at the bottom of your jewelry box. You're horrible. Because of the cancer, Connor lost so much weight. He got so small the ring wouldn't fit anymore. It kept falling off his finger. He didn't want it getting lost somewhere, so he put it in my jewelry box for safekeeping. It meant a lot to both of us. That's why we put it in a safe place. Well, I've already sold it now, so you should just hurry up and forget about it and him. Keeping it for a memory isn't going to make you a cent. I don't want to forget about it or him. It doesn't matter, because I've already gotten it and my watch back. Huh? I went around to the pawn shops you likely would have gone to, and I found the one you used. I spoke to the owner of the place and told them what happened. They were nice enough to let me buy it back from them for the same amount they bought it from you for. What? You paid money to get that stuff back? Are you stupid? Why would you do such a thing? That's such a waste of money. I did it because they meant that much to me. You have no idea how human emotions work. That's why you can't possibly understand. And whether it's a waste of money or not isn't your decision to make. No, it's clearly a waste of money. If you had enough money to buy back the ring and that watch, you should have just given me the money in the first place. If you'd have done that, I wouldn't have needed to steal the ring from you in the first place. No, now that I think about it, I'm glad you stole it from me. Why? Because you stole valuable items. You're a thief, and I'm going to report you to the police. Report me? Hold on, are you saying you're going to press charges against your own mother? Anyone who would be happy when Connor died clearly isn't my mother. As far as I'm concerned, you're not even family. Hold on, Olivia. Okay, look, I'll apologize, okay? I'm sorry. So let's not press charges, okay? And I'll pay you back all the money I borrowed from you so far, somehow. Look, I'll do whatever you want me to do, okay? Whatever I want you to do. The only thing I want you to do is go to hell. But first I'll have the police come and arrest you and charge you with theft. That should make me feel a little better. At least until you're able to do the other thing I just said I wanted you to do. Olivia, I'll do anything, just don't call the police. If I get a criminal record for this, I'll never be able to find a job. Then I'm out of friends, and if anyone finds out... So what? I don't care about any of that. You say you're my mom, but all you've ever done is take money from me whenever you want. And then you get really happy when my husband dies of cancer? And you even steal my husband's wedding ring and the precious keepsake he gave me? So you can pawn them off and use the money on yourself? Who in their right mind would take pity on such a wretched person as that? I'm the only family you have left now that your husband and your father are dead. You're wrong. My mom's dead too. Huh? In my heart, you've already died, so I don't care anymore. And like you said, when someone dies, that's it. Grieving over them won't bring them back. You're not my mother, my family, or my friend. To me, you're just a random person on the street. However you live your life from now on is none of my concern. Oh, but I am going to make you pay me compensation money. Compensation money? Of course, you stole from me. I'm going to make you pay me back the money it cost me to get my things back. And I'm going to sue you for the mental anguish you put me through. I'm going to make sure I get every cent back and more. Olivia, don't turn your back on me like this. What am I going to do? I don't care. This is how you chose to live your life. You made your own decisions. Live with them. Who was it that you always turned to when you needed help? Olivia, you're the only person I have. You're my daughter. Don't turn your back on your mother like this. I don't know what you're talking about. My mother's dead. Olivia, don't say that! Are you saying you're not going to help your own mother? How many times have I told you and you still don't understand? I don't know who this daughter of yours is that you keep insisting is real, but it's certainly not me. After that, I went and reported my mother's crime and showed the police our chat as evidence. She was arrested and charged with theft. Unfortunately, as bad of a person as my mother was, she didn't have a previous criminal record. Since it was her first offense, they went easy on her and she didn't get any jail time. After finding that out, I immediately hired a lawyer to sue her for as much compensation money as I could. My mother didn't have any money in the bank, but she had a lot of designer items as well as expensive jewelry. She was forced to sell all her expensive things in order to pay the settlement in my lawsuit. The fact that she was able to sell enough of her own things to pay my lawsuit just goes to show how terrible of a person she was to pawn my dying husband's wedding ring instead of her own stuff. But now that she had no one to rely on to give her money all the time, her debt started to pile up quite fast. It wasn't long before she had to declare bankruptcy. She was forced to give up her house and all remaining possessions of value. By the end of it, she didn't have much left to call her own. Of course, many of my other relatives also came to my husband's funeral when he died, so everyone already knew that my mom had attempted to steal from the cancer research donations. That's why none of her other family members would help her out with her situation. And my mother always liked to say that she had a lot of friends, but when word spread around that she was arrested for stealing her daughter's dying husband's wedding ring, everyone that knew her began to avoid her and ultimately stopped talking to her. In the end, there wasn't a single person that would help her out. She left town and nobody knows where she is now. I've got nothing to say about what happened to her, other than you get what you deserve. No matter what happens to her from here on out, it's got nothing to do with me. As for me, right now I'm facing the fact that my husband is gone. Honestly, there are times when I get so depressed that I can't think of a reason to keep on going. But my husband left me many things that helped me get through the bad times. There were many relatives on his side that helped me get his wedding ring back. And the lawyer that I hired to get the compensation money from my mom was one of Connor's close friends. Connor's friends and family have helped me so much. I realize that I have a lot of people around me to support me when I need it. So I'm confident that I'll be able to pull through this and move on with my life.